Hello everybody, just getting YouTube is just about going live, and yes, we're all live. Very good. And I think the chat should be working on YouTube today. So it's very bright and sunny outside, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to see what everyone's up to, and be able to reply maybe and chat to you a little bit about what's going on. So today I'm going to be making a stick decoration for the garden. Now, I posted a rather odd thing. So I'm just going to take my phone out of its cover and see if that will help the connection. So we're still live on YouTube, I think, but I'm struggling on Facebook. So let's hope that that helps. Okay, so anyway, we need a paintbrush and we need some sort of tin. So I've got a little dog food tin just for this purpose today. Oh, we're back on Facebook. Yes. Okay. Hi guys. Sorry, lost a bit of connection there. But we're getting there. So dog food tin, paintbrush. I've got another little paintbrush. It doesn't really matter what you use. You could use a sponge if you haven't got anything like a paintbrush to hand. But we do have everything going on. So I've got some paints. So this paint is just from like Home Bargains at the Works, couple of quid. It's just acrylic paint, and that's a bit more posh acrylic paint, but you don't need posh acrylic paint for this. And I've got some other bits of acrylic paint. So that's yellow and red, and a bit of white. So I'm going to make sort of an orangey, sunsetty stick. Is my aim. And the other day I made a purpley stick. So we're aiming to get sticks that look a bit like this one. So, so this one is graded. So stick at the top, and then it's white, and then it goes darker, darker, and darker, all the way down to like a dark bluey purple down at the bottom. And that's what we're aiming for. And then with these sticks, we're going to make a nice decoration. So with these sticks, we're going to make a nice decoration. And we're going to attach it on to a bigger stick. So I found this on one of the walks, and it's completely dead. It's fallen out of the tree, and it was attached to a bigger branch. But I've got a small one today, and I used a big one yesterday. So we're going to attach these onto here, so they dangle a bit like a wind chime, like this. And we're going to make it into a nice shape. So to do your nice shape of your stick decoration, should I show you the example, or should I wait till the end for the big Blue Peter type reveal? Has anyone got an opinion? I'm not sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little shape. So I've got a piece of paper like this, and I'm going to draw a shape on that I would like to make with my sticks. Okay, so it depends how big your sticks are. You might need to make a different one. So today I'm going to go for a bit of a medieval style flag shape. Okay, a bit like that. Okay, I could easily turn that into a heart shape if you'd rather a heart shape. And this decoration, when you make it, if you have a look on Etsy, this craft selling website, they have beautiful ones on sale there, which will give you plenty of ideas for different shapes and sizes that you want to do. So I've drawn my shape, and I'm going to get my collecting sticks, and I'm going to lay them on top like this, and I'm going to cut them to size. So this bit up here is over the line, so I'm going to chop that, and you want to lay all your sticks out, which will be a little bit difficult to show you on here. So you want to lay your sticks out on here like that. And what helped me was I had a ruler or a plank of wood, which is what you saw in the picture, to make the top line. So then all I had to do was chop the bottom line. So you can see some of them are overhanging. So you want to chop that off. Oh, there we go. So you want to chop that off there. Okay, so you want to make them all in the right order, and you want to keep them in that order. So you want to fill up the whole entire box with your sticks. Okay, whole entire box, and chop them all off to the right size so they look in detail. And you want to keep them all in that order while you're painting. Okay, and once you've got them all to size, you need to decide where your paint's going to start. So line them all up, pop a ruler or something across the top, grab some paint, which I've not prepared. So I'm going to pop that in there, grab some paint, and then mark underneath your stick, so where the ruler is, so you know that they're all going to line up. Ta-da! There we go. And for everyone that's just joined in, you'll be wondering what on earth I'm doing. Okay, so all stick decoration. So have I lost my painted stick? I have. So I've got a big stick, and I'm going to get some smaller sticks, and I'm going to tie them on and dangle them like a little wind chime. And we're painting them in like an ombre style paint. Okay, so you can see it's lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. There we go. Lighter at the top, darker at the bottom. And we're going to tie that on, and we're going to make a beautiful design. Oh. Only just joined you. So I asked people before if you wanted to see an example of what we're going to make. So I'll show you now, and then I'll do a quick recap and we'll carry on. Okay, so hang on a second. I'll just grab my blue piece of moment. Okay. So this is what we're aiming for. So I think everyone can see that just about. So I've got a nice old piece of wood. I've got some beautiful ombre sticks. So I'll bring it a bit closer so you can see the ombre sticks. I've used my claw fit knot that we learnt the other day to tie it all on, and it looks beautiful against my fence. So I've got it tied up against my fence, and I've got one missing here, so I can show you the knot later on. So this one belongs here. So you can see all the sticks are levelish, and all the lines of where the paint start are levelish. So, and then the shape is just there of that flag shape that I was showing you before. So, piece of paper, and draw the shape you'd like your sticks in. So I've gone for a bit of a medieval flag, straight at the top, straight at the sides for your sticks, and then a little point at the bottom. Line your sticks up along the top and cut them to the size of your shape. Okay, so you can see that one's a bit long. So chop them to the size of your shape. And then you'll want to put a ruler across. I'll just hang my decoration back up. So chop it to the right size, and then pop your sticks across the top. And you can see these ones have got a bit of paint on already. I don't know where my ruler's gone. There it is. So ruler across the top of your sticks, and then mark on with just a little bit of paint where the paint should start. Okay, so you've got a bit of stick showing, and then the rest of the stick is blank. Okay. And to create the ombre style, I used a little tin like this. So this is an old dog food tin. Okay, and I've got some white in there already. So you don't want to have too little paint. So the more sticks you've got and the bigger, longer sticks you have, the more paint you'll need in your tin. And because you can never mix the same colour twice. So always have enough paint in your tin. So I've got a bit of white in there. And I said I was going to go for a kind of sunset-y colour. So I've got a bit of red. So the one that I've already made, oh, that's a lovely sound, isn't it? Right. I promise that's not me. That's just here. And I've also got a bit of yellow. So these are acrylic paints because they'll last up outside. But if you've only got poster paints or something like that at home, you could always varnish over the top of them so they last. But if it's just hanging in your house, you won't need it to last because it won't be raining in your house. So I've got a little bit of everything in there. So I'm going to squidge a bit of yellow in as well. Okay. And you want to get your first stick. So keep them in order on your sheet. Don't lose the order. Start from one end and go all the way across your sticks and start doing your thing. So you've got your marker to say where you start your colour. And what I'd advise you do, if you want to start light to dark, is go all the way around your stick like this, okay, with the white, and smidge it down the stick a little bit because that makes the paint easier to spread, okay. And the next bit, you're going to mix a few of the paints together. So if you've got a big wide brush like this one's really good because you can put one colour on one side and one colour on the other. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mix it together a little bit. So I'm going to mix this bit in here like that. And then I'm going to put my white stick in the other end and get a bit of yellow, so it's all sort of smidging together. So you can see it's starting to get a bit of ombre going on. So one side of my stick, one side of my paintbrush is more white and yellow, and then the bottom bit is more reddy orange. And I'm going to get my stick back. I'm going to pop it up so the white's at the top, and I'm just going to smear it around the stick like that. And I don't know if you can see that. I'm hoping you can. It's creating a beautiful smeary colour. And then once you've done that, you can get either keep that paintbrush for your smears around the top. So you can either do all of your ombre bit together like that, so you get your next sticks and do the next bit. And you can see on that one the paint hasn't smeared very well around the outside. Okay, there we go. So because I haven't painted the white underneath, so the white does help it kind of smear along the paintbrush a little bit. Okay, so once you've done that little bit, you can paint the rest of your stick in the darker colour. Okay, so you can use a different paintbrush for this, and you can start off with the dark colour, and then you can get a bit of the light colour, and then just work it around your stick in a circle shape, and it'll all sort of blend in together, and you'll end up, and remember to do the bottom. I forgot that on my first round. I forgot to do the bottom, so I ended up with little sticky bits at the bottom. There we go. And it helps having the stick bit at the top because you've got something to hold. So there's the first stick. Can you see that? And then you just need to work along your sticks. So you'll end up with a whole bunch of sticks, all cut to size. So they'll be the same at the top. If you've done a simple straight bit like me, if you've done a complicated heart shape, some of the sticks will be different sizes. So you'll need to keep your template there and make sure you've got the right sort of line. Otherwise, you'll end up with wonky sticks. Okay, so that's the start of that one. And then I'll be able to paint this one along and make it look beautiful like that. Oops. Try not to drop your paintbrush when you haven't got any paper underneath you. Okay, so is that looking good? Can everyone see that? Okay, and then the most important bit of that is to let it dry, because you don't want to work with it when it's wet. But if you've got, I mean, I have on the big one that I've just showed you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 6, 13 sticks on that one up there. Okay, and I would have had some more sticks, but I ran out of string, ran out of green string, which is a bit silly. So 13 sticks. So you don't want to, by the time you've worked from one end to the other, 13 sticks, the first stick is normally quite dry. Okay, so lay those down, make sure you keep them in order, let them dry off. Okay, you can add a little bit of water to your paint as well. So if you haven't got very much paint, if you've just got little tiny tubes of acrylic or little paint tubes that you've got given as a present or something like that, or even bits of emulsion or something like that you've got left over from walls, you could use that. If you're finding it's a bit thick and it's a bit hard work, just get some water, dip your brush in, and then mix your paint around a little bit, and you'll find that helps. You don't need very much water because you don't want it dripping everywhere, but add a little bit of water in if you're struggling, especially if it's not smearing very well around. Add a little bit of water and you'll find that it smears around much easier. Okay, so you can see that's covering really nicely. It's just a thinner coat of paint. Okay, there we go. So that's your first bit. So you've got all your sticks all beautifully painted, and you've gone and had a nice cup of tea or a glass of juice and a little snack, and you've come back and they're all beautifully dry. And then we've got our pre-made stick, which is already dry. Okay, so this one was the one I made earlier. Okay, and this is going to be the challenging bit because I'm going to have to turn the laptop around so you can see. And it's got 2 phones attached to it, so you can all see what's going on. So let's see if I can do that. All right, I think you can all see the bit over there. Okay, and I've got some white string just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't think I can bring you any closer. That's about as close as I can make you go. Okay, so mine's hanging up on here. It's looking beautiful. I've got a big thick piece of string up here because I thought it looked like a bow and arrow, which I thought was quite nice. We want to get our stick. So the way I found that was easiest, I did my clove hitch. So I did my P and a Q, and crossed the P over the Q, and popped it over the top. Okay, or you can do the twisty way around, but I quite like the P and the Q. There we go. So that attaches it onto there. Okay, and you can do any knot you want. A simple double knot works well as well. But the clove hitch is nice and easy once you get the hang of it, and it's good practice because, like I said, I've got 13 sticks here. So there's 13 clove hitches across the top, and then 13 clove hitches to attach it onto the beam. Okay, so we've got that dangling on here. So the hardest bit now is, because the stick's all wonky, is to make sure all your sticks line up underneath it. So go over to it and get it hanging in the right sort of place. So I think that's about right there. Okay, and I'm going to use my other finger to hold the rope in place. Okay, so make sure it doesn't move, and then I'm going to tie my knot. So I'm going to tie another clove hitch. So I go over the top, cross over the rope. And I know you guys can't see this, but you'll have to watch the how to do a clove hitch video. Over the top. Oh, and I keep losing Facebook. I'm sorry, guys, on Facebook. I keep losing you a little bit. And then we go through the loop that we just go on the top and pull it tight. And then just give it a little adjust as you're pulling it tight. Make sure it's hanging in the right place. And ta-da! It's hanging. Then you need a pair of scissors. Just grab one. There they are. Ta-da! And just chop it. And what I did was I tied it, and then I had all of my knots with the rope at one side. So what I did is I flipped it round, so then I couldn't see any of the knots. So I'll bring it a bit closer again so you can see. So you end up with a beautiful decoration. Now, as you can see, I purposely chose sticks that we found on our walk that were a bit wonky and a bit wiggly and a bit bumpy, because we're not in the woods, and you might not have access to perfectly straight sticks. So there's a few that are really quite nice and straight, and then there's other ones like this one that's a bit wonky and a bit bumpy, but I quite like that. Okay, so it's the same shape that I drew on there, straight at the top, straight at the sides, and pointy in the middle, but it's less obvious because it's a bit wavy. Okay, it makes quite a nice sound when you tinkle it, but I've got it up against the fence, so it doesn't make so much of a tinkle. It's more for decoration. But I thought that was rather lovely. Okay, I'm going to pop that back up there just so you can have a nosy. Okay. Oh, there we go. So let's see. Has anyone asked me any questions while I've been popping away? No, everyone is just having a little wander and a little watch. Hi. So sticks. So you just need as many sticks as you want. Just do a quick recap. If anyone's got any questions, let me know. Okay, so grab a piece of paper or a bit of cardboard. Okay, I've got my little sticks because I'm going to make a little one. Okay, draw the shape that you want to make. Put your sticks on the top. Cut them to size to make sure they fit inside that box. Okay, then pick them up one at a time. So make sure all your sticks are lying down in one place, and then you pick them up one at a time. Paint from the same point. So make sure when it's lying down, you put a ruler along and you just dab a bit of paint along so you know where to start your painting. Otherwise, it'll just be all weird. But if you like it all weird, that doesn't matter. You can just go crazy, because I've done a nice ombre effect, but you could do whatever you wanted. So, I mean, I could get one of the other sticks here and I could go stripy. So I could go for a stripy effect. So I could start with a bit of white, and then I could go on to a bit of red, and then I could go on to a bit of yellow. You can make them all different. They don't all have to be the same. But the ones on Etsy, all the ones that sell beautifully for like 30, 40 pounds, they're all kind of ombre effect because that's cool at the moment. But you could go stripy. In forest school, it's all about learning. It's all about getting it wrong to learn how to get it right. It's all about kind of the process of what you do and not how it turns out. Okay, so with every mistake, you learn something new. So here we go. So, so I've got bits here. So I've done these a bit different. So I've just painted a little bit on there. Okay. Ta-da! I could add as many colours in as I wanted in there. And then I've got one stick that's a bit stripy, and I've got one stick that's a bit ombre. And I bet when they dangle all together, they'll look amazing. You could paint them. You can paint shapes on them, I'm sure. You could get your peeler out and peel it flat, so you can draw something or write people's names on. Might be quite nice to have something like family written if you've got bigger sticks and you can peel it and write family on there. Get your if you haven't got paints, you could always get your permanent markers out, colour the sticks in, tie them up. Okay, so you can do whatever you like there. Okay, so does that sound okay to everyone? Has anyone got any questions? I don't think so. Okay, so the other thing that I thought of while I was doing this, I made we had an event in the old woodland in Cumbria where I used to live, and we made wind chimes, and we did it out of bamboo sticks. So we got the bamboo sticks and we chopped them all different sizes. So we started off with a small one, and then we ended up getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and we think we had maybe 6 or 8 pieces, and then we tied them onto a stick and we dipped them in the colour and painted them and made them beautiful. And because the bamboo's hollow, it bangs against each other and it just sounds really lovely. And that's the type of stick that most people have in their gardens, is a bamboo cane or 2. And they're quite easy to get a hold of from like hardware shops as well. So some people even have it growing in their garden, so they could just chop a few pieces, and that would make a beautiful wind chime if you wanted it to be more of a wind chime rather than a decoration. So that would be quite cool, wouldn't it? So I totally forgot about that till the other day. We also made tin can flowers that day. That was exciting. So we got old pop cans and old beer cans, and we started cutting into them, which was an idea I got from a guide meeting I went to. So yeah, we got the old cans, and it was at the Trafford Guild meeting, so guiding for adults. And we chopped the cans and we made flowers out of them. So we did that in the woodland, and it was a bit of a day where we raised some money for the woods to help us build a path. So that was quite exciting. Okay. So if you want to have a go at that, you can. If you want to show me all your different designs that you get up to, that would be exciting too. I'm going to finish off this one, this reddy orangey one, and I'm going to attach it onto my small stick over here, and I'm going to make another one to go on my fence, but in just a bit of a brighter colour, because the purple was lovely, but I think a sunset one would look even better. I've got as well, so this is the last bit of the stick that I've got, and it's got a really good shape in it. Can you see? It's a really odd kind of shape, and I think it'll look just beautiful with something dangling off of it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know whether I use sticks or whether see if I can collect some beach glass at some point and make a dingly dangly one, or whether to use bottle caps. Though we don't use a lot of bottle caps. So I've got another piece here. So any suggestions for this beautiful piece? Because you can see how beautiful that is. My husband goes absolutely bonkers at me when we go on walks, and I go, "Oh, look at that beautiful stick," and I take it home, because this one was 3 times as long, because it was this big plus this one plus that one up there, and it was a really long stick that we found. It's a beautiful piece of oak that's died in the tree and dried out, and then it's fallen down in the winds that we had, and I collected it up, and it's just beautiful with all of its bumpy and notches, and it's really nice. And because it's all dead, the bark is just peeling off just so easy, so it's revealing all the beautiful colouring underneath. So suggestions for that. I might even get some wood cookies out and pop some wood cookies on there. I don't know. Or I could make a fishing rod, I suppose. So I'm hoping that everyone's enjoying this beautiful sunny day. And you might have a go at making one of these beautiful things back here. And I hope that has made you smile a little bit today. So get your paintbrushes out, get your sticks, get your string, get knotting, get practicing, because the clove-hitch knot is such a useful knot for tying things on, either to poles or to sticks or something like that, to make something. And it's such a strong knot, you double knot sometimes, if you're not pulling it tight enough, it'll just wiggle off your stick. So the clove-hitch knot is a really good one. So it's really good practice. I did 26 of them on there to create that, plus the 2 that I did at either end for the big string across the top. So get practice in your clove-hitch. If you go back on the videos, there's a video with the clove-hitch on that you can follow. So I hope that's all sonky-dory, and that is all good. I think everyone is happy. No more questions. So I'm just going to leave it there and say thank you very much for joining me on Warble Wednesday. I am going to do a story at some point this week, maybe on Friday, or maybe even tomorrow, for the under 5s. Because we did Fox's Socks not so long ago, and that was really good fun. So me and Jack are going to do another story, and you can join us if you want to for our little chaos story around the garden. And you never know, you might get some ideas for using your stories. So we're going to do a little bit of that next week. Wobble Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I don't know what I'm going to talk about or do yet. Any suggestions? Give me a little tinkle on the comments and ask for something. I know Edward has been enjoying knots, so I know he wants to do another knot. So if anyone else is interested in learning another knot, we'll do that as well. And that's it really from me. If you do like knots and things, then join in the challenge that I'm doing. Send me a message or an email and add yourself onto the email list for the weekly challenge. The first one's gone out on Monday, I think, and it's a rope bracelet challenge. So it's all about getting a bit twisty and twisting and making a beautiful forest school bracelet out of wool or string or whatever you've got to hand. So we're getting a bit twisty, and then there could be some knots, there could be some shelters, there might even be a little bit of fire. There's 5 sections to what we're going to sort of work towards, and there's different ones, different challenges from each section. And a few of you that already come to Family Forest School, I mentioned about doing the Wild Passport. Well, this is part of the Wild Passport. So anything that you do towards this will add to your experience, and you can sort of judge how good you are getting. And one of the things in there is knots, and one of them will be the clove-hitch. So if you get practicing now, you'll be an expert knots by the time that challenge comes out, and you'll be able to go boom, 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 done, 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 and you'll be able to send me a little video and be an awesome expert. So that would be really cool. So I think that's all I've got to say. I'm getting quite used to talking to myself now, so I'm quite happy. So I'll leave you with it there, and enjoy your day. See you next Wednesday. Bye. See you next Wednesday.